Okay, we are ready to start. Hi, good morning, everyone. This is Tanisha Joshi, and today we are going to conduct a really special class on IELTS speaking based on useful idioms. So please be ready with your pen and paper. We will be learning a lot of things today. Okay, so first of all, I'm representing Webberz, the IELTS department, and before moving ahead, let's see and decide that why should we choose Webberz if I am planning for my study abroad and IELTS journey. First of all, we are offering flexible timings, early morning to late evening batches, online and offline available, so you can contact us for any kind of requirement. Second, best global results. We have a lot of students with us who have got really good scores, and it has become so common with us that we are helping our students to get their desired scores. Small batches available, so you will never be able to see a lot of rush crowd and getting confused that your questions are not being answered. Small batches, so the teachers are completely dedicated to your performance. Personalized attentions, so you will never feel like you are just talking to a wall. There will be trainers and they will be giving you the details, the personal attentions all the time. Multiple one-on-one speaking available online and offline both. So you can join us and contact us for this multiple speaking sessions with detailed feedback and suggestions. 24-hour material access is there on our portal, which is latest, well-researched material available. And finally, certified trainers from IDP, Cambridge, Oxford, Pearson, and everything. We do not just deal with IELTS, we have other products as well. So if you have any query, you can contact us. So moving towards our today's lecture. So similar, following our traditional routine, I will try to use mixed language in my today's session so that all of our candidates and students can understand what I am trying to say. We do not discriminate just because of the language. Okay, so today's lecture is on useful connectors, useful idioms, which you can use in your IELTS speaking specifically that will enhance your natural and expressive language. So, idioms in speaking, why it is important. Idioms make your speech more natural and fluent. Sometimes हमें लगता है that हम बोल तो सही रहे हैं but still there is a wow factor missing in our speaking कि ऐसा मैं और क्या ऐड कर सकता हूँ जो मेरी एक normal and average speaking को और ज़्यादा improve कर दे. So idioms can help you to sound more natural और ये आपके lexical resources के जो descripting factor होता है उस पर effect करता है. Use it only when needed and don't overdo it. Just because I know things, I will not just serve it on the plate. राइट सो बहुत सारे एडियम्स मुझे इकट्ठे अपने आंसर्स में यूज नहीं करते हैं बट यस मुझे उसे नेचुरली फिट करना है मेरी स्पीच में सो ऐसा लगे वो नेचुरली मेरी स्पीच में आया है ना कि वो मेमोराइज्ड है इफ इट इज मेमोराइज्ड एंड बहुत सारी दूसरी प्रॉब्लम्स हो रही हैं दे विल नॉट हेल्प यू एट ऑल. Idioms add fluency, variety, and natural expression in your speech. So we sound like more of native speakers rather than having our own ideas and translations. जैसे हम बहुत सारे ऐसे वर्ड्स या idioms यूज कर देते हैं जिसको हम सिर्फ डायरेक्टली ट्रांसलेट कर रहे हैं अपनी लैंग्वेज से सो दैट इज नॉट ओके. Idioms हमें फ्लुएंसी वैरायटी और नेचुरल एक्सप्रेशन देता है और हमें उसे उसी कॉन्टेक्स्ट में यूज करना है. Used naturally and in the right context, right? So that I have just discussed. Moving further. So we are now starting with different kind of idioms. So now it is your time, everyone. Please be ready with your pen and paper. Try to note down what are the idioms and how to use in different contexts. So today we have designed our class according to the different topics that किस situation में आप किस type का idiom या phrase add कर सकते हैं. So first one is regarding health and feelings. So, our first idiom of the day is under the weather. So, what do we mean by under the weather? क्या मैं किसी cloud के नीचे हूँ? The answer is no. When I say that hey I'm under the weather today, which means I'm feeling sick or unwell, कि मैं ठीक नहीं हूँ, मुझे बुखार है, and more like जो weather वाली situations होती हैं, cold है, cough है because of the weather. So under the weather is our first idiom of the day, which means feeling sick or well. And how we can use it? I was under the weather last weekend, so I couldn't attend the class. So हम इसे हमारे बहुत सारे क्यू कार्ड्स टॉपिक्स में यूज कर सकते हैं और मे बी एक जनरल क्वेश्चनिंग में. Like I can say that okay I was under the weather last month, and because of that, I missed my appointment. So it could be a really good idea to use in certain situations. Moving on to the next one. Second health and feeling regarding idiom, cloud nine. So, what do I mean that I am on cloud nine? Am I on the ninth floor? The answer is no. On cloud nine, which means that you are extremely happy. So, extremely happy that I am on cloud nine. For example, I am on cloud nine because I'm taking this session. So, our today's example is I was on cloud nine when I got my board results. So, it's a very common phrase we can use at many different situations. Okay, I was on cloud nine when I got my results. I was on cloud nine when I participated in the event and I won. So, there are different situations we can use on cloud nine. Next, let's move towards the time and frequency. So, the first one for time and frequency is once in a blue moon. So once in a blue moon means very rarely. कभी आपने देखा है स्काई में आपको हर दूसरे दिन एक ब्लू कलर का मून दिख रहा है? I don't think so. I always see the white and yellowish moon. But blue moon होता है बहुत rare. So once in a blue moon का मतलब है कि जो चीजें बहुत ज्यादा rarely होती हैं. Right? We can say to our friends in our normal conversation, hey, you do not talk or interact these days so much. I got your message once in a blue moon. So ये हमारी एक जनरल कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स को भी एनहांस करता है, नॉट जस्ट आई एम स्पेसिफिक सेइंग towards the IELTS speaking, right? So once in a blue moon, very rarely. So a proper example could be I eat junk food once in a blue moon. So हमें हमारे IELTS introduction में बहुत बार frequency based question पूछे जाते हैं. How often do you do this? How often do you do that? How often do you pursue your hobbies? How often do you go to college? How often do you go to a library? So अगर मैं बहुत कम किसी जगह पे जाती हूँ, I can use this phrase that I visit library once in a blue moon. I don't often go there. It happens once in a blue moon. राइट सो हम एक अच्छे कॉन्टेक्स्ट में इस ब्यूटिफुल से इडियम को यूज कर सकते हैं once in a blue moon. Moving towards the next one. In the nick of time. In the nick of time simply means just in time. I joined this session just in time. So उसका एक दूसरा तरीका हो जाएगा कहने का in the nick of time. So in the nick of time, just in time, exactly at the deadline पे कोई काम करना. For example, I caught the bus in the nick of time before it left. So, finishing something just at the right point at the deadline, I submitted my assignment in the nick of time, right? So, just in time is in the nick of time. Moving towards the next one, and this one I believe everyone आप सब लोग relate करोगे, which is work and study. So work and study से related हमारा पहला idiom है burn the midnight oil. So burn the midnight oil. Midnight which means हमें पता है कि something बहुत ज़्यादा देर रात तक कुछ करना. So burn the midnight oil like working late into night और बहुत ज़्यादा hard work करना किसी चीज़ के लिए जिसके लिए आपने अपनी रातों की जो नींद है वो भी sacrifice कर दी है. So burn the midnight oil is working late into the night and इसका एक best example क्या हो सकता है? I had to burn the midnight oil to finish my assignment. So burn the midnight oil is working really hard that you are not even sleeping because of that. So burning the midnight oil. Next one, on the same page. That's a very interesting one and ये बहुत commonly use होता है लोग अपनी language में use करते हैं but I mean is native speaking में बहुत ज़्यादा use होता है that we are on the same page. Right, so on the same page होने का मतलब है everyone agrees with the same thing at the same time. So we both are on the same page about this session. We both are on the same page about the issue of global warming कि हम दोनों एक जैसा सोचते हैं या सब लोग एक जैसा सोचते हैं और एक बात से agree करते हैं. That is on the same page. So everyone agrees with the same page. The best example to it is I became best friends with Meena in art class. We are always on the same page and share similar ideas. Right? So अगेन ये टॉपिक बहुत इजीली या फिर ये फ्रेज हम बहुत इजीली यूज कर सकते हैं जब हम कोई सिचुएशन एक्सप्लेन कर रहे हैं रिगार्डिंग अ पर्सन जिसको आप बहुत एडमायर करते हो, पसंद करते हो. सो आई कैन से दैट ओके आई लाइक दैट पर्टिकुलर पर्सन बिकॉज वी आर ऑलवेज ऑन द सेम पेज अबाउट आवर स्टडीज, अबाउट आवर वर्क और on any topic. So on the same page. Moving on to the next one, opportunities. So our first one for the opportunity is blessing in disguise, and it is a very nice phrase or an idiom जो हम use कर सकते हैं किसी पूरी situation को define करने के लिए, that it was a blessing in disguise. So blessing in disguise का मतलब क्या है? We have two words in this idiom. Blessing which means किसी type की blessing, कोई आशीर्वाद, कोई वरदान, that's a blessing. And in disguise का मतलब क्या होता है? Something जो सामने clear नहीं है, कोई छुपी हुई चीज है. सो इट इज अ ब्लेसिंग इन डिस्गाइज, एक वरदान है एक छुपे हुए रूप में. सो इसका मीनिंग क्या चला जाएगा? समथिंग गुड दैट सीम्ड बैड एट फर्स्ट, कि स्टार्टिंग में लगा कि नहीं नहीं ये तो खराब है, बुरा है, इससे मुझे प्रॉब्लम्स आएंगी, बट एक्चुअली इट वर्क एज एन अपॉर्चुनिटी, कुछ अच्छा हो गया मेरे साथ. सो दैट वाज अ ब्लेसिंग इन डिस्गाइज. इसका एग्जाम्पल क्या हो सकता है? नॉट गेटिंग इन टू माई फर्स्ट चॉइस कॉलेज वॉज अ ब्लेसिंग इन डिस्गाइज. सो फर्स्ट हाफ आप देख रहे हो कुछ बुरा है कि मुझे मेरा कॉलेज, मेरी पसंद का कॉलेज नहीं मिला, सो समथिंग बैड हैपेंड. सो नॉट गेटिंग इन टू माई फर्स्ट चॉइस कॉलेज वॉज अ ब्लेसिंग इन डिस्गाइज. आई एंडेड अप लविंग द वन आई वेंट टू, बट ऑपोजिट चीज आ गई, जिस कॉलेज में एक्चुअली मैं गया मुझे वो बहुत ज्यादा पसंद आना हो शुरू हो गया. सो इट वॉज अ ब्लेसिंग इन डिस्गाइज. सो इट इज, आई गेस थोड़ा और क्लियर हो जाएगा इस पिक्चर से, दैट व्हेन अ प्रॉब्लम, जो हमें लग रहा था कि स्टार्टिंग में एक प्रॉब्लम है, वो एक अपॉर्चुनिटी बन जाती है, दैट इज ब्लेसिंग इन डिस्गाइज. आई होप वी आर क्लियर सो फार. नेक्स्ट वन इज फॉर थिंकिंग. सो थिंकिंग के लिए हम क्या यूज कर सकते हैं? क्रॉस समवन्स माइंड. इट्स अ वेरी कॉमन फ्रेज जो यूज किया जाता है, बट जब हम एक्चुअली अपनी स्पीकिंग कर रहे हैं हमें भूल ही जाते हैं. ओ माय गॉड, देयर आर सो मेनी कॉमन फ्रेजेस जो यूज किए जा सकते हैं, एंड दे विल एक्चुअली इनहैंस आवर स्पीकिंग. हमें जरूरी नहीं है कुछ ऐसा ही यूज करना है जो बहुत ज्यादा डिफरेंट हो. समथिंग विच इज वेरी नेचुरल, and the natural speaking will give you a higher scores, of course along with the grammar and everything. So for thinking we have cross someone's mind. It crosses my mind or something. So to briefly think about something, तो किसी चीज के बारे में थोड़ा सा सोचना कि ये मेरे माइंड में आ गया था, अरे हाँ मैंने तो सोचा ही नहीं, ये सोचा था. So that is cross someone's mind. To briefly think about something. The example is, it's never crossed my mind that my friend might be upset. कि मैंने कभी सोचा ही नहीं कि मेरा फ्रेंड अपसेट हो सकता है, राइट? सो क्रॉस माई माइंड, किसी चीज के बारे में थोड़ा सा ब्रीफली सोचना कि आपके माइंड पे हिट करा, सो इट हिट योर माइंड. Okay, moving towards our next topic for the day, that is for communication and media. For communication and media, our first is spread like wildfire. So something which spread very quickly. So spread like wildfire का मतलब सिंपली क्या हो जाता है? कोई चीज जो बहुत ज्यादा जल्दी फैलती है. वाइल्ड फायर में यहाँ पे कीवर्ड क्यों यूज करा गया है? बिकॉज इन रियल लाइफ हम देखें, जब किसी जंगल में आग लगती है बहुत जल्दी फैलती है. सो सिमिलरली अगर हमारी नॉर्मल लाइफ में कोई ऐसी चीज हो जो बहुत जल्दी फैलती है, दैट इज स्प्रेड लाइक वाइल्ड फायर. एंड सबसे ज्यादा ह्यूमन वर्ल्ड में हमारी बातें फैलती हैं. So example for that is the idea of weekend trip spread like wildfire among our friends. कि हर जगह वो distribute हो गया. Next is time management. So for time management we are having the phrase beat the clock. Beat the clock which means finish something before the deadline. So किसी चीज को एकदम point पे, the similar one in the nick of time, जस्ट इन टाइम, या फिर किसी चीज को उसके डेडलाइन से पहले फिनिश करना, वी हैव अ फ्रेज बीट द क्लॉक फॉर दैट. और उसका एग्जाम्पल क्या हो सकता है? आई मैनेज टू बीट द क्लॉक एंड सबमिट माई एप्लीकेशन ऑन टाइम. And similarly, the other one for our time management is time flies. that the time passes very quickly. So we can use this one for different phrases like, okay, when I'm reading my favorite book, the time flies. So पता ही नहीं चलता कि time इतना जल्दी कैसे pass हो गया. When I'm talking to my favorite person, time flies. So example, time flies when I'm hanging out with my friends. तो जब मैं अपने friends के साथ हूँ, time बहुत जल्दी बीतता है. तो time का बहुत जल्दी बीतना is time flies. Next one is money and lifestyle. So for money and lifestyle, the first one we are having is born with a silver spoon. So when you are born into a very wealthy family, it is called as born with a silver spoon. कि आपको बचपन से ही सारे resources मिले हैं. So that is born with a silver spoon. And the example could be, he never had to worry about the money. He was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. So this one is born with a silver spoon. And it's a very common one. हम बहुत सारे इसको conditions में use कर सकते हैं. When we are having all right. So when we are having a topic like mm, talk about a person who is very rich. So we can say that okay, there is this person and he was born with a silver spoon. Next is money and lifestyle. So for money and lifestyle, our first one is cost an arm and a leg, and it's a very useful phrase, everyone. Something which is extremely expensive, and हमें आए गए ये वाला टॉपिक आता रहता है कभी क्यू कार्ड में या फिर डिस्कशंस में that okay, talk about something which is very expensive when it costs you a lot of money. तो हम वहाँ पे ये phrase use कर सकते हैं that it cost an arm and a leg, something which is very expensive. And the example is that designer bag cost me an arm and a leg. So it was very expensive for me. Next one is relationships and people. Break the ice, which means try to start a conversation. So when we try to break the ice, which means कोई ऐसा phrase, कोई ऐसा topic के ऊपर बात करना जिससे हमें सामने वाले person से बात करने में ease हो जाए, a conversation start हो जाए. So there are a lot of conversation starters like how's the weather today and all. So इन चीजों को हम कहते हैं that you are trying to break the ice. So which means you are trying to start a conversation. So the example could be he told a joke to break the ice at the party. तो उसने एक joke सुना दिया so that he can break the ice, the atmosphere is at ease, people start talking to each other and start feeling comfortable. Next is technology. So for technology, our first idiom is cutting edge. Cutting edge, which means very modern or advanced. And the example is the university uses cutting edge technology in its science laboratories. So cutting edge technology something is very advanced. हमें अगर AI के ऊपर questions पूछे जाते हैं, अगर मैं अपने simply mobile phone के बारे में बोल रही हूँ, I can say that okay, I have this latest phone and it is based on this cutting edge technology. So cutting edge technology is a very common phrase and ये writing में भी बहुत use होता है because it's not exactly an idiom, it's a very good adjective जो हम technology के साथ use कर सकते हैं. So if you get a writing task on technology, you can write the word cutting edge technology and it would be completely acceptable. It will enhance your lexical resource course. Next is light years ahead. कोई चीज़ बहुत ज़्यादा आगे अपने current time से बहुत ज़्यादा आगे advance है, it means it is light years ahead. So something which is way ahead of its time. So smartphones today are light years ahead of those 10 years ago, which means हमारे जो initial phone start हुए थे like a telephone or and all which was connected with a wire, उससे भी बहुत ज़्यादा एडवांस हमारे आज के स्मार्टफोन्स हैं. तो समथिंग विच इज़ वे अहेड ऑफ इट्स टाइम, दैट इज लाइट ईयर्स अहेड, बहुत ज़्यादा टाइम पे आके. सो स्मार्टफोन्स टुडे आर लाइट ईयर्स अहेड ऑफ दोज 10 years ago. Next is travel and adventure. And the first one is travel light. So travel light का मतलब है taking very few things when you travel. rather than having a lot of baggage, a lot of stuff with you when you just carry with the minimal things, which means we travel light. So light word यहाँ पे ज़्यादा highlight हो रहा है. So the example could be I always travel light on weekend trips. So हमें travel के topics बहुत ज़्यादा easily आ जाते हैं speaking में, be it introduction, be it discussion, be it a cue card. So yes, when we are trying to make a story about my recent trip, how I spend my weekend or something, I can add this phrase there. That okay, I always travel light on my weekend trips. So I forget something. So that was today's main list of idioms, everyone. There are more useful idioms available, and that is specifically available in our download section of our students ID. So if you need a proper list of those which have discussed today and some even more and some useful phrases, you can download the ones from your student ID portal that is added to you. If you find difficulty to find it, you can ask your trainers and they will help you out. Now, let's move towards the practice session. So now I will ask my audience here in the Zoom and on YouTube as well that please try to participate in this practice area so I can understand how much you have learned today in this idiom section. So here it is, the first one. It's a very easy question for you all. Choose the best idiom to complete the sentence. Even though he failed the interview, it turned out to be a dash because she found a better job later. And there are three options. So please tell me in the chat box that what could be the best answer. I'm giving you a time for 30 seconds. Please read the question and find the best idiom which fits here. Yes, everyone, I'm waiting for your answers. The chat box is open. You can give me the answer. Okay. Most people are saying A. Okay. Even though she failed the interview, it turned out to be a dash. So we have just discussed something जो ऐसा लगता है starting में such a problematic, oh my god, ये क्या हो गया मेरे साथ? But it turned out to be something good कि thank God ऐसा हो गया. So it will be a blessing in disguise. So even though she failed the interview, it turned out to be a blessing in disguise because she found a better job later. So very nice. A lot of people have answered correctly. Moving towards our second one. Which of the following phrases would you use to talk about a rare activity? So again, you have some time, everyone. Read the question, read the options, give me the correct answer. I know we are very smart here, so our students are having really good brain and they can answer it quickly. All right. So our question was, which of the following phrases would you use to talk about a very rare activity? The option A says on cloud nine, which I don't think so is different. The meaning of on cloud nine was something when you are extremely happy. The B is once in a blue moon, and the C one is break the ice. And we have discussed break the ice, which means starting a conversation with something. So our correct answer is obviously once in a blue moon, something happened very rarely. That, for example, someone wins a lottery once in a blue moon. It happens something very rarely. Okay. And now the next part, everyone, it is slightly difficult. Now you have to match the following. I have three very beautiful idioms and there are meanings in front of them, and you need to match the idioms with their correct meaning. The first one is cutting edge, second is on cloud nine, and the third one is burn the midnight oil. And you need to match with the correct meaning. The option A says work late into the night, option B says very modern or advanced, and option C says extremely happy. So you need to just match one, A, B, C, whatever. So I'm giving you slightly more time for this one. Please read it and give me the correct answers. Yes, everyone. 10 seconds more. I want a lot of answers in the chat box. All right, let's check. First one was cutting edge, and we have just discussed cutting edge is technology. So, cutting edge is something very modern or advanced. Second is on cloud nine, and I have repeated it 1,000 times today. It means extremely happy. And the third one is burn the midnight oil, which is work late into the night. So correct order was B, C, and A. One was B, second was C, and the third one was A. So I guess a lot of people have got the right answers, and I would be extremely happy if you use these phrases in your answers. So I would be on cloud nine if you use these phrases in your answers. Moving towards the last one, and it's an open one. I want you to frame a sentence using an idiom, which means you have to convert this simple sentence into a idiom based sentence. So our original sentence of the day is she works very hard to get promotions in her company. So which will be the correct idiom choice? Here, what you can use. She works very hard to get promotions in our company. So take your time, everyone, and please write the correct sentence in the comment box. All right, I'm able to see a lot of answers, but you people are cheating, everyone. You are only writing the idiom. Please write the full sentence if possible. Yes, now I'm getting full sentences. Okay, so obviously the most answers are saying she is burning the midnight oil to get the promotion in her company. So that's the correct answer, burning midnight oil. Okay, everyone, so that's the end of our practice session. Now let's move to our last slide. As someone said here, let's call it a day. So Again, moving towards the first slide, why Webberz, as we have discussed, there are flexible timings, best results, small batches, personalized attentions, multiple speaking sessions, 24 hours material access, latest well-researched material available, along with certified trainers. So if you are looking for your one-stop destination for your scores, please feel free to contact us. So thank you so much for joining, everyone. So if you have any queries, you can contact us. You can